Episode 480 is now recording of the We Were Gamers podcast, wherein I may have fixed the delay issue. We'll see. The internet has its many, many, many solutions to problems, and none work.
Still one of the most confusing things I've ever heard about your setup. Makes no sense.
Yeah, apparently it could have been caused by Discord hardware acceleration. Who knows? Who knows? Today it's not there.
Certainly not us.
But people are here, and I have a voice. So Michael's here.
Hey, everybody.
JJ's here.
Hello.
And the only way I found that possible solution was through the internet, and I did not use the AI answer.
Probably wise.
Yeah,
I don't know if you
good.
guys. Yeah. I didn't know if you guys wanted to talk about that article that we all read about the pause for bad language and shitification of the internet.
I mean, which one? I feel like there's like one every couple days.
I think you posted one that was like how to save the internet.
The Cory Doctorow video.
I don't want to really talk about AI, but I did have a very funny same day reaction to that story you sent about the internet getting worse. The iPhone update also hit at the same time, at least to my phone.
Joy. You'll have to tell us because neither JJ nor I are on iPhones.
Well, they've got this new thing, their whole new design aesthetic called something glass. Like it turned everything into bubble letters and bubble buttons and bubble this and bubble that, and everything's a circle now. Everything's a circle.
Saw someone mocking this. The white outlines of all the.
Everything's a circle. All the buttons that used to just be next to each other and nice and square, now they're circles and they're further apart, and you got to tap them because they're farther. They're tinier.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, if you picture in your mind, like you swipe left to delete or save an email, and the buttons for delete and save an email were little squares, and the squares were next to each other, and you hit delete or save the email. And now they're tiny little circles, and the circles are, farther apart because we got to make room for the circle. Everything's transparent and hard to read. And the thing that irks me the most just inflames my.
Whoa there.
Okay.
Why does
see a doctor if inflammation lasts more than 24 hours?
Why does everything that is one click become 2 clicks?
You have to save people from themselves, Andy. You don't want to accidentally push a button.
You want to switch accounts in this app? Well, before you just tap the account button at the top, and at the top it said switch account or go to settings. Now it's more settings, switch accounts. You know what I mean? Like every single thing. The messages app used to just have a pull down. You just pulled down on the screen, and then it had 4 or 5 buttons there. Now I have to click a button to go into filtering. Once I'm in filtering, I can filter instead of just pulling down on the screen and filtering. What are we doing?
They want to make it harder and harder for you to leave your corner of the sandbox.
Yep.
I don't want to leave my corner of the sandbox.
The curated sandbox that they have developed. They don't want you to look behind the curtain. They don't want you to change things. They just want you to sit and be spoon-fed the ads that they want to feed you.
This entire update would have been a gigantic W if all they had done is moved the search bar from the top to the bottom.
Man, that sure seems like a thing that a phone that didn't control so much would just let you do whatever you want.
Sure does.
It used to be that you could reset some of these settings backwards. The last 5 updates, I've been able to be like, I liked it the way it was, change it back.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't even care even that much about the design aesthetic. I can say I don't like it, but I chose the phone, and the design aesthetic is the design aesthetic because that's Apple.
Yeah,
but
I was going to say
that's fine.
You don't get to pick, right? Apple's taking picks for you now.
I know what I bought into a little bit on that end of things.
Sure.
It's dumb and it looks stupid it really is wholesale dumb looking. Like a lot of screens have square backgrounds behind circle backgrounds. It's like because you're taking up space. Why don't you just take up that space? You know what I mean? Like, just take up the space with the button. Stop making 3 backgrounds because you want your little stupid circle button. That's bad aesthetic, but you bought into it. I get it. But taking something that works with one click and moving it down 2 menus because now we can have more things accessible from one button. It makes it worse. It actively makes it worse. The things that weren't accessible from that button before, nobody used. That's why they weren't there.
You're welcome to switch to Android if you don't like it.
I'm considering it.
Come on in, the water's fine.
That's your alternative, man. Like, and they know that the vast majority of people will not. And so
that's true.
they could just do whatever they want and there's nothing you'll do about it.
I'm considering it. All right, in shitification rant over. Improvement rant onward. You guys want to hear about some home improvement?
Oh, always.
Yeah.
The outdoors has progressed.
All right.
Sorry, I had the way you phrased that. I just had an immediate do you guys read Defector? I don't know how much anyone other than me on this
when
podcast
you
reads
link
it.
me articles.
They have an ongoing
I read
thing
it occasionally.
Do you guys know who Shams Charania is?
Mm-mm.
He's a basketball insider guy. He's like the Adam Schefter of basketball. I guess that's like a good way to explain him.
Okay.
So you know those guys
I have
that are
seen this guy before.
Yeah, you know how those people posting these scoops, and it's not just limited to basketball, right? But I feel basketball is one of the worst ones, are always just posting stuff like in the most weirdly caveated language, right? Because they're like, I feel the contract negotiations have progressed to a point of denouement between the parties involved in the discussion. You know, it's like you spent an entire 40 words and you said nothing there.
Oh, I like the word denouement.
But I'm just saying, it's like you picked a bunch of weird words and threw them together in a pile that doesn't actually have any meaning.
You're just trying to say nothing's happening.
Yeah. Right. You summed up that sentence in 2 words. And I felt like the way you started that sentence felt very Sharnia-esque.
I think it's one of those terms when people don't really know what to say. They say something progressed apace.
Yeah, exactly.
Have you ever heard that one before?
Yeah.
Yes.
Our Q4 goals are progressing apace. Apace what? Apace a horse? Apace Walmart's earnings? What are we apacing?
The line continues to go up.
Yeah.
You know, like the thing that brought Defector to mind is they recently published an article that was like the Shams Charnia Award for uniqueness in syntax understood by many. And then it's a whole bunch of quotes of sports media people saying nonsense phrases like this. And then they pick the most ridiculous one of the year.
It's like when people do Yogi Berra-isms.
Totally.
I think it's more like this is more like corporate speak, but sports.
Yeah, and they're doing it for those corporate reasons, right? But like, it's very funny to see the people like just cavort themselves into pretzels over the things that they're being allowed or told to say, right? Because like the thing is, none of these people are like reporting on news, quote unquote. It's like what they're allowed to report on based on their contacts or whatever, and they can't possibly burn those bridges, right? So they have to say it only in the ways that get approved.
Right. Well, anyway. I can tell you, I have approved many fun interactive changes in the yard. Well, we keep running into little things, nothing big, and everything has a solution. But like, we wanted to lower. So you guys know, kind of like water runs downhill clearly. And there's a roughly.
You guys got the downhill water?
There's roughly a 1/8 to 1/4. I land on the 1/8 inch side. Drop per foot that you want in your slope of your yard, right? To get things moving.
A good grade. Okay.
A little gradation.
Mm-hmm.
I think that there was probably 40 to 45-ish feet from the pool to the front yard. That drop was about 11 and a half inches.
Wow. Okay.
That seems far.
We've gotten that down to about 4.5 inches.
All right, there we go.
Which is
That's
much better.
yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the reason that it was like that is because no one wanted to do the hard work of realizing that the street behind our house is much higher than our yard. And so they just piled dirt against that wall and we're like, well, we'll slope it live. And
Okay.
so
How did that go?
well, as we've dug out these things, it's like, well, we're now 7.5 inches below the footing of that wall. That's fascinating.
That is kind of wild. It's that, yeah. I mean, I guess that's the difference there.
Yep.
Yeah, I think what they did is they set the walls around all these properties while they were gigantic hills, and then they were like, "Uh-oh, now what do we do?" Well, I guess these properties remain gigantic hills.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
resloping that has been quite interesting, and we've had to adjust some of our plans. A place that I thought I would have 14 square feet is now like 10 square feet because there's now a planter there that's holding up the wall
retaining wall,
/ hiding the footing of it's like a retaining wall there, and
Right, you
this
had
is
to
now
give
a
some of it up.
planter where yeah, exactly. So those little changes are doing bits of work where people have to stop what they're doing and fix the plan, and but we every little thing that I've envisioned so far in terms of like how the brickwork comes together with the pool comes together with the retaining walls is all working out. So it's just a slow process, one piece at a time. Okay, we got to do this next. We got to do this next. There's far more dirt to get rid of than we anticipated.
Mm-hmm.
So we've
I
been
mean, that distance is
dumping
big.
containers of dirt. I mean, it's crazy. Yeah. Indoors, I think I related to you that I made the wild mistake of assuming that we could take on more than one project at a time.
You did mention that you were doing that, and
yeah, wild mistake is a good. It's gonna get that tattooed on my left bicep. Is also progressing well. We've started renovations on the fireplace, which are cosmetic entirely. So that should be solvable pretty easily. The drywall should go in the next 2 days. Finally got everything in the walls cleaned up. So maybe before Christmas we'll have indoors complete. Not complete, but not exposed to the elements, and also with insulation for the first time in 60 years.
That'll be real nice.
Yeah, that'll probably help.
Yeah. Well, it's fun. General contracting is hard, but it's rewarding when you start to see it come together. For the first time in a lot of years, and also somewhat rewarding for a few people, we had a 2-point finish in the F1 standings.
Yeah, pretty
There have been
wild
closer.
ending.
There have been closer, but wild-ish. Wild-ish.
Okay.
It was a little bit of a maintenance situation, I think, towards the middle of that race where people just realized we've won,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
and
mean,
the hype of having the guy who could take the lead from third in first place kind of dwindled, which was a little sad to see, no matter who it was.
Yeah, I mean, from Max's perspective, right? If you were rooting for him to win, there was kind of nothing he could do to stop them, right? Without like
nothing
dirty,
more he could do. He did
right?
he did everything he could do except have a racing partner who could have been in second place.
So I think the thing that Max will be kicking himself over, let's cast our minds back to the early part of the season when Max's was terrible. You remember this time? There was a race where Max was ordered to let George Russell go back through. Right, because he'd overtaken him like off the track or whatever, and like Red Bull's like, hey, you got to give that place back, and Max didn't want to do it, and he rammed Russell's car when Russell
and was out.
went to pass him.
Right.
He wasn't out, but he was assessed a penalty reasonably, and it dropped him enough places to lose how many points, Andrew?
Oh my God! Please say it's 3.
More than 2.
Oh.
So I don't remember what the actual number was. It might have been 3 or it might have been 4. I don't remember. But enough that it would have changed.
See this analysis yet.
So I think, there is, you could say Max could have done more, but he had to have done it long ago when he thought he had no shot. Right?
Right, sure.
And back then, of course, everyone was just like, well, he's just mad because his car is terrible and he's going nowhere in this season, right? And then lo and behold.
Okay.
So, it is. Yeah. And McLaren also put themselves in this situation, right? If they hadn't have gotten the double disqualification in Vegas, we wouldn't have had any discussion to talk about on the last race at all, right?
Yeah. Wild that it could come that close with really domination all season by the one team, with Max then getting back into it and like them not really having much fight in the last race, and you'd be like, oh man, maybe they could pull this off. But I think it was a good ending for a season that kind of felt for a little while out of hand.
Yeah, it definitely felt like one of those seasons from, I don't know, were you watching back in the Mercedes dominance era? When Hamilton won like 7 championships.
I had started
in a row,
then, yeah, where Hamilton won 7 championships. Yeah, about Hamilton's 3rd or 4th was when I was starting to pick it up.
Yeah, and it was just like, well, who's in 1st and 2nd. It's Hamilton and whoever's driving the other car. And then it's just a question of like, what's going to happen in the rest of the field? Playing
for 2nd place.
Yeah, so there was, and the front became a non-discussion. And so it's like kind of unique in some ways to have discussions at the front in F1. It's been so many years that people haven't. So, good on them for making it close and giving it all at the end.
Yeah.
And now let's throw all these cars away and the racing and whatever and do something completely different next year, right?
Yeah, I mean, and add new teams and shake up the drivers a little bit. And I mean, it's going to be.
Yeah, we got.
I guess I think.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Am I delayed again? I am delayed again. Hooray. I love it. I love everything about this. I love everything that happens in the audio of this podcast. It's so amazing.
I mean, we are pretty good at talking, right, Michael?
This is true. We can fill the time if we need to.
Michael, there were a fair amount of gaming news since we last recorded.
There was a fair amount. So the new replacement for E3, what used to be E3, is apparently the Game Awards. It's here to stay. E3 is dead and gone. RIP.
Yeah, it's not new, but it is now more important because E3 is gone, I guess, right?
Right. It has become the de facto platform for announcing all of the upcoming games.
And to be clear, it's like, we're talking like big budget, expensive kinds of games. Did you hear how much it costs to get a thing on that award show?
I did not. Are we talking like Super Bowl money?
Not quite Super Bowl money, but like considering this is still video games and it's not watched by nearly as many people, right? I think they said it's like $750K for a 30-second spot.
Wow. So yeah, not Super Bowl money, but you can see it from there.
And then over 1 million, obviously, for a minute.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And then, I'm sure if you want people to talk about your thing more or whatever, the price just goes up, right?
Yeah, right.
So I didn't really watch it because first off, it's also like 5 hours or something insane.
It's very long because they do a half hour or maybe an hour pre-show leading up to it, and then the show itself. And they do some of the awards in, I guess that all award shows do this, but they do some of the awards in the pre-show. So before the actual show has even started, they've handed out some of the hardware.
And I think like the vast majority of the awards, like no one even gets to come up and grab it. They're just like, the game award goes to this. Moving on, like
Yeah, so I think I did catch a little bit of the pre-show because I was listening at my desk before I took off for the day, and I'm pretty sure that they have a live feed of the audience in the background, but I'm pretty sure that the pre-show is happening green screened, and the projection behind them is just the audience. So it makes it look like they're in the room, but they just if you're actually watching it, they very coincidentally just happen to have the winners of all those early awards immediately right there as soon as the award is announced to step up and say a few words.
Okay.
And then at the appointed hour, it cuts over to the actual award show, and they get going.
So, obviously, there's always a lot of announcements at these things.
Yes, indeed.
Did any of them tickle your particular fancy?
There were several, in fact. That caught my eye. I am a big fan of the new Tomb Raider games. So I was very excited to see Crystal Dynamics come out with their announcement that they are essentially reimagining the the 2006 Tomb Raider game in Unreal 5. So they're giving it the modern treatment, Tomb Raider: Legacy of Atlantis. So that'll be coming out soon. So I was very excited to see that.
And so, to be clear, this is like a remake of Tomb Raider 1, right?
Yes. Yeah,
so
it is.
It's not 1996. That'd be like, or it's like 1996, right? Not 2006.
Correct. It's the 96 game.
Okay, yeah. With a reimagined, old-looking but modern Lara Croft.
Exactly.
Is that game supposed to fit in any timeline that exists, or do we know?
So I don't know about that.
Great question.
I guess you could go look at where that original game was supposed to have fit in a timeline.
I'm not going to do that.
But one could.
Fair.
Yeah.
Or someone could email Andy at podcast@weweregamers.com.
There you go. Oh my God, Michael, that was so good.
So synced in, so locked in, that guy.
Slide that right in there.
Podcast@weweregamers.com. I have, to tell you the truth, I have no idea. I never followed any kind of like coherency around those games, so I never know.
Yeah. You didn't need it.
Yeah.
The games kind of just stood alone. Even the new trilogy, you almost didn't need to have played any of the first games before the second or third one.
Yeah, but that
true.
wasn't
nice.
The only Tomb Raider announcement.
What?
It was not. There were actually 2 announcements. There's a brand new game coming called Tomb Raider Catalyst.
Yeah.
What are they catalyzing?
Unknown, but it looks like it's a more modern looking Tomb Raider. Not clear if it's a follow on from the previous game.
Yeah, I didn't see much in the way of details about it, about where it's supposed to fall, if it's supposed to follow those or not.
But it definitely was not like, the couple like screens or whatever they showed of it did not look like classic, blue shirt Lara Croft.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. We went more PlayStation style, huh? Nathan Drake.
Maybe. I mean, hard to say, right? Like, it's hard to know what either of those games are because we only saw trailers of them. But it's kind of wild. They've announced 2, in, and they're both. Are they both coming out soon, or was just the first one?
So, the Atlantis is next year. Catalyst is supposed to be 2027.
That's a short timeline.
It is.
Thank goodness this is a short timeline, because we also had that major announcement and it's like maybe 2030. I don't know.
Oh, you're talking Fate of the Old Republic.
Star Wars. The Star Wars. They put it on enough of a timeline that it could get canceled like every other Star Wars game they announce.
Sure, why not? They've learned their lesson.
I think it was and I expressed this opinion to you guys already, but that was a, hey, look, we're starting a studio, come work for us. That's what that was. Not a announcement of a game. It was a recruiting pitch.
I just really wouldn't trust it at this point. You know, how many Star Wars games have they announced of that style of like, it's gonna be big and huge and we got this great cinematic, and then it's like, canceled. 3, 4 at least?
Yeah, a couple at least. None that really were purporting to be, Knights of the Old Republic-esque. But definitely, like there was that 1313, whatever the hell that was going to be.
Yeah.
And there's probably more that I can't remember.
Right.
But yeah, I mean,
I would have played that 1313 game so fast.
Sure, but it didn't have lightsabers, so it was never going to happen. That's how you knew, right? This one had a lightsaber in it, so you're safe.
The most hailed Star Wars game of all time. Republic Commando.
Hailed? Like, liked? Is that what you mean?
Lauded. People love those games, those Republic Commando games. Love them. Not a single lightsaber, at least that you can use.
Okay.
I love the caveat there.
I'm just saying, maybe I'm not going to ruin the story. Just saying. No,
Andy, you can spoil the 25-year-old game. It's okay.
I mean, just saying, it's mostly blasters.
What about you, JJ? What caught your eye at this one?
I think I'm going to do the cliche move for myself and say, hey, they announced Total Warhammer 40,000.
Dude, that's a game we know is going to come out.
Which, of course they were going to do this, right? Like, who could have possibly been surprised that after selling like $80 billion of Total War fantasy stuff, they decided to do the space one that's more popular?
Has Total War ever done a almost completely ranged game before, though?
So, no. But I have now played a lot of Total War 3, Total War Warhammer 3, and there's quite a bit of ranged in that game, I'll say.
Okay.
And there really isn't enough mechanics in there that if they wanted to make dudes who don't just die to a bunch of bullets, it's probably fine. Yeah. The thing that I think is interesting, because I haven't seen that in these games, is vehicles and stuff. I have no idea how any of that will work.
Yeah, I mean, you better bet I'm drop podding into this map,
which they show in the trailer.
Yes, I know. That's why I said I'm going to do that.
Yeah, and they show orbital bombardment. They show land speeders and giant tanks and orc vehicles taller than buildings and stuff. So they kind of have a pretty wild stuff. They have said, Andy, in an article, that all the factions in the game are capable of wiping out planets. So you can just Exterminatus is what the Space Marines do, but I don't know what the orcs, they have some version of it, and Eldar and everyone. So it's just everyone can just blow up the planets, and that's allowed, apparently.
What was the name of the 40K game? Maybe it was a Star Wars game that I'm remembering that was like a grand strategy game. Might have been a Star Wars game.
Yeah, I don't know that there's been a 40K one
because if they turned Total Warhammer into a grand strategy with doing this, where you can just be like, I'm bypassing this planet and blowing it up.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be all over this game for 400 hours.
So I think at its heart, Total War still really wants you to make the guys fight each other, you know? But the strategy layer is pretty interesting, and it seems like, you know, there's both a planet level strategy layer and then a like universe level strategy layer, which is something they haven't done to my
This is
knowledge
why I
before.
mentioned grand strategy, right?
Yeah, but I don't think it's going to be like, you know, playing Stellaris or whatever with Warhammer units.
Would that be so good though?
Let me tell you though, there are total conversions for Stellaris for both Star Trek and I'm sure Warhammer. So
what?
Oh yeah, there's like total conversions for Stellaris that like do all kinds of wild stuff, dude.
I
I
want to
you
go
have
to
his
there.
attention.
I want to go to there.
So, you know,
the dumbest game that I think that I spent so much time playing. Did you ever play Starship Creator?
No.
It was a Star Trek game. And you literally like made your ship in this like menu, and you made the nacelles, and you made the saucer section, you made all these, and then you crewed the ship with like every available character from Star Trek up to that point, which was 1999, something like that. 2000? No, it couldn't have been 2000. And then you sent them on missions, and you like watched them go on missions and come back, and you hoped you did a good thing.
It sounds kind of like that. Sorry, now derailing the conversation again. There's a game on, is it out or is it just in early access? A like Voyager forward, like roguelike game almost, where you like take the Voyager crew and you like, you know, try to get through scenarios and like get home by using, you know, oh, Harry Kim has like a +3 in engineering, but Tuvok is like a -2 to empathy or whatever, and like your dice roll is bad, so then now like Harry has a debuff or whatever. And you use that to like, you know, try and take the ship home. It kind of sounds like what you're describing, except with like, you know, more customization on the ship end.
It was called in one review the most idiosyncratic piece of software.
That's what you want to hear about your game.
Is that a positive thing?
That review gave it a 30%. So my point being, I played the heck out of that game, and it weren't no grand strategy. I would take a lot more control and enjoy a heck of a lot more game in the Star Trek and 40K universes. That would be fun as heck, especially if Total Warhammer let you like do the Battlefleet Gothic side also. Oh my god.
So I'm not confident that will be the case, but I think there is going to be some level of vehicle combat. I'm not sure that there's going to be space combat, but you know, there's always room for expansions, right?
Yeah, man.
Exactly.
Even if it's just like, I don't know, make your fleet and then send your fleet around, and I got to pick the ships, and I was like, yes, battle barge me, baby.
Yeah, I'm not confident that you'll get tons of fleet customization, but they showed like quite a bit of character customization on the troops. So, you know, if you want your dudes to be space wolves instead of whatever, you know,
Oh yeah, they had that little
available.
flickering thing where they showed everybody could be a thing. Yeah, I saw that.
So it looks interesting. Like that's the one that caught my eye the most. But I think there's, you know, it's just like the games just don't stop coming, you guys, you know?
I know. It's a nonstop parade.
I do think that it's notable the discourse about the Game Awards was mostly just that like Expedition 33 won everything.
Yeah, I think some games didn't just have a lot of time to build up steam for awards, you know, also. Also, Hollow Knight, I mean, did well, but not that well.
I mean, it sold 7 million copies, which is a lot.
I guess we don't care what the Game Awards think, right? Who cares?
Yeah, that's the real answer.
It's not a measure of your success or failure as a game, right? There are other better metrics if you are
but it's
in
also it's weirdly also just not what gets streamed the most, you know, because the last 5 years before this weren't all Call of Duty all the time.
Right. And I think the Game Awards has talked a little bit about their process, but not like fully revealed how they pick the winners. The public has influence, but it's not a public vote, right? So it's like a bunch of people who submit their votes and they aggregate them somehow, and the public input goes into that.
Mm-hmm.
Which again, unclear how those things interact, right? But it definitely feels very like lowest common denominator.
Mm-hmm.
And a game like, Call of Duty appeals to some people, but other people not at all. And, a game like Silksong appeals to some people, and other people think this game is BS and way too hard. And then, Expedition 33 is an easy middle ground that everyone, can agree on, right?
Right.
So I think that's how you get there, or, that's how they got there this year anyway. And, Call of Duty this year notably was like, did horrible, I think, and was kind of disliked.
They're overhauling their release schedule as of this year. They're like, guess the yearly releases are over.
Did they finally run out of Black Ops and other and warfare in a modern setting?
Hey man, maybe it takes more than a year to make a good game.
I'm nodding my head sagely over here.
Also, maybe using the same engine from 1993 and
it's starting to look a little worn around the edges.
Oh, it doesn't look worn because we just keep duct taping over the top of it and drawing on it again.
Yeah, I'm not confident that giving them another year will mean that that's different,
I'm sure it won't, but
at least it might
they
let
need
them cook
to do
a little
something.
bit, and that's important.
I mean, I have no interest. I've played, countless hours of Warzone and other things, and just have no interest at all in playing a Call of Duty Warzone or otherwise. Arc Raiders has helped that, which we could talk about a little bit. I have a lot to say about it. But I think there's more Game Awards, maybe. I don't know.
I think I've said my piece. I don't know what else. Is there anything else that came from it that you're interested in talking about, Michael?
There were some little things that that new Lego Batman has a date that's coming out next May.
There's a Star Wars racing game.
Yep, there's a Star Wars
dude. Racing. Andy, it's pod racing again.
Yeah, but it seems more like open-ended. I saw there were swoop bikes and other things in there. I would play it. I would if it's interesting.
Bro, it's pod racing again. Don't trick yourself, right? But
what's wrong with pod racing?
No, that's what I'm saying. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm just like, pod racing had a bunch of weird stuff in it, and this is now going to have weird stuff in it too. Cool.
Yeah, I'm in.
Another one you might.
Sebulba.
Oh yeah, there you go.
I'd play as old Sebulba. That'd be fun.
One you might be interested in, Andy. The creators of The Witness and Braid are coming out with a new puzzle game that's supposed to be. Well, it's supposed to be 250 hours. But it's also,
I think you just completely unsold him on the game.
Yeah.
Say that number again.
It's 250 hours. Now I don't know how they count that. I don't think that they necessarily mean
I'm gonna open up Steam here real quick
to beat the game. So
I'm gonna open up Steam here real quick.
So here's the description. It's a grid-based isometric game with a branching overworld made up of smaller puzzles. So imagine a grid, basically a grid of grids, and little tiny puzzles as you make your way across. Now, I don't know if that 250 hours means if you wanted to solve every puzzle on the grid, but I have a feeling you can make your way from one end to the other to see credits in a much faster amount of time.
I thought you could sort by time played.
There is a way to do that, I think.
View profile.
But I think the most important thing that we should say is the creator of those games sucks and we don't like him.
Oh, whoa. Okay, hold on. Civ 5 I don't count Dota 2 because you used to watch games in Dota 2. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
Sure, yeah.
So I'll probably have the same amount of hours in Dota 2 as I do in Civ 5. That's 140 hours. I don't know that I am doing anything over 100 something hours ever again.
Yeah.
What's wrong with the braid guy?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I missed this.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's shitty for like a lot of different reasons.
Oh,
okay.
He like legendarily treats his employees really shitty. He has a lot of pretty retrograde opinions about women, about like, men just are like inherently better at technology than women are and things like that. He's not great.
Got it. Yep.
That's
that one might have unsold me.
That's awesome in the worst way.
Yeah, I mean, he has made great games, and I think we can acknowledge Braid and The Witness are both like really good puzzle games, but he himself is not a good person.
All right.
Oh, well. On to the next thing. There were plenty of other announcements.
Yeah, I mean, there were.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I think there's at least one more I was interested in. I'm just not recalling it off the top of my head here. We went too far afield talking about Warhammer again.
There was a new Control announced.
Oh, that was it. Yeah.
Was that it?
Yeah. Did you guys play Control? I don't remember if anyone else here did.
No,
it's on my list. I have the complete edition as a free gift.
Free Epic account or whatever.
Yep.
Oh right, yeah. But yeah, they showed a trailer for Control 2, which had a real like, oh god, what's happening here vibe.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember there being so many horror elements to that first game.
Oh yeah, I don't remember people saying that either.
But also the combat in this looks like way more. First off, it doesn't look like you have a gun, which is very different.
Yeah, it's
didn't you start with that one on the other?
Yeah, you get like a. I don't even know how to describe it. How do you describe the gun in Control? It's like a weird vibrating polygon that shoots.
All right.
And it looks like in this game, the guy uses the weird vibrating polygons to make melee weapons.
Oh. Resetting the lore.
Well, it is the brother of the protagonist of the first game.
Okay.
Which there is a whole story about in the first game. So I don't want to spoil any of that if you guys do choose to play it.
Put it on the list.
But it is a cool premise, and like the combat looks like kind of sick. Actually, it kind of looks like I saw like air juggling and combos and stuff. It looks like almost Devil May Cry like.
Okay.
So I saw him like juggling a dude with a big hammer up in the air and spinning around and doing that kind of stuff. So that looked pretty cool. I'm interested in what they do with Control because that was a very cool universe they set up there.
I like it. The universe of Arc Raiders expanded this week. They are adding snow conditions to the maps that can kill you, which is interesting and fun.
Just like real snow.
Yeah. And doing a holiday event. And the drama surrounding the prestige system continues to run amok. They added a new way to reset your talents in the game by paying not real money, but in-game money. And people were like, well, then now why should I go on this prestige thing? That's the only reason. The amount of people that have said that's the only reason I'm doing it for multiple reasons and continue to complain is quite interesting. I did note the achievements say that only 8% of players have hit level 75.
That sounds right.
So the amount of people complaining versus the amount of people that were actually going to prestige for real doesn't add up to me.
I think it's really important to remember that people that talk online are a very small subset of the total people.
Absolutely.
And people that talk publicly in forums or on Reddit or, wherever Discord places are like small subset of that subset even.
Yeah, what's funny about that is it's not even the streamers mostly that are complain. It's a few streamers, the complainosphere, right?
Yeah, because that is also a thing, right? There's the outrage
complainosphere is the
factories.
thing. Yeah. But a lot of the people that are playing tons of the game are not talking about it at all. They're just like, no, still gonna do it. It's giving more to do. So, game's still fun. I don't have a lot of time to play. I literally am going on the house dawn to dusk, basically. So, instead, we should wrap up with finding out how people's fantasy playoffs are going, or
Yeah.
maybe not going.
I think it's easiest to start with me because I had a bye week last week and I didn't have to do jack, which was
Sweet.
real convenient because looking at my score, I would have lost to every other person in the championship bracket.
So you pulled a me and had my entire team just completely lose it. So mine is real easy, and I can say I'm out because JSN and Joe Burrow decided not to play.
So
it's a real bummer, dude.
That happened. I made the playoffs in both leagues, and that is the exact description of why I am out in one of them. I had Burrow, I had JSN, and Gibbs, and none of them showed up this weekend.
Yeah.
That team was a real kind of zero to hero situation, man. Drafting Saquon Barkley and then auto drafting most of the team.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a W.
It's frankly amazing. So here's people in my league were talking this week, and a guy said something that really hit me, and I think you guys will agree with this. He said, making the playoffs in fantasy football is skill. Winning the playoffs in fantasy football is complete luck.
It's all luck. Every year.
Yeah.
Because, you have a whole season to get your team good and build up enough wins and make the playoffs and stuff. There's a skill that can be utilized over that period of time. In the 1 week that you have to win in the playoffs, it is just complete luck. You have no shot. Like if you JSN just decides to, because that game is a blowout or whatever, and they just don't play, or it's 12-10, you just lose and there's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
Yep. My other matchup went better. My team managed to put up a 176. So I cruised for a pretty easy victory, although my reward for that is I play the top team in the league whose players on bye put up a whopping 224 points.
Ugh.
So
in how many team league?
12.
Oh my God.
That's a lot of points in a 12-team league.
So let me give you what his team is, and you'll understand here.
Well, but how does that happen in a 12-team league? He shouldn't have a stacked squad.
Well, but everyone going off lined up, right? So he had Bo Nix, he had Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yeah, who got 40.
He has Etienne Jr.
He got 30.
He has Sutton, so he has the handcuff. So when Nix goes off and Sutton has a day, he's doubling up. And then he has Tracy, the Giants running back, who went off.
And that game randomly turned into a shootout. Yeah,
I'm so mad about that. I had Tracy all season, and for most of it, he sucked because he sat behind Cam Skattebo, and then when he wasn't behind Cam Skattebo, the team sucked, and then Tracy got hurt. And so I don't play him in the playoffs, and he goes off. I will never play or get that guy again, just like freaking Saquon Barkley. Ban list forever.
I can't blame you because I don't know that I would have played him, right? But it is
over who? I could have played him over Bucky Irving.
Yeah, no, you wouldn't do that.
Yeah, why would I do that?
Like I said, it is at this point so weird. This is the fluky time, right? Where you just need the guys who get touchdowns this week. Okay, here is an example. I am I'm going to be playing this week against a guy with JSN. His team is scoring more points than me every week and has been for the majority of the season.
Mm-hmm.
He has Drake May. He has JSN. He has Jonathan Taylor. Like, I'm in big trouble, you know?
Right.
There's a good shot I'm going to pick up that Rams tight end who went off last week and play him over Travis Kelce.
Oh, that's a really good idea. Move. I mean,
because I don't know that, and then like there's a chance I have to put Travis Kelce in my flex because I can't trust like Deebo Samuel.
Nope.
Like Kenneth Walker, that dude sucks. Like I'm gonna play Chris Godwin and pray that he gets a touchdown. Like I don't know, dude. Like it's dire. So I am very in any time during the season, if you had said like, "Hey, I want to play this random tight end on the Rams over Travis Kelce," you would be like, "No," right? But if I told you I'm doing that this week, you guys are like, "Actually, yeah, good idea," right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's his quarterback got an ACL injury. I mean, that's not
totally. Like, it's like, who do you want, Gardner Minshew, like, or Matt Stafford? And you're like, well, I want Matt Stafford.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, the tight end who has caught 6 touchdowns in the last 6 games.
I mean, that happens all season. That's not related to the playoffs.
Yeah, it's more of like, who else is going to be active on the Rams and who are they playing, right? And it's even if Mahomes was out and we had like one more game's data to show that like, oh, Minshew just throws it to Kelce every play because he doesn't trust anyone else, like I'd be like, all right, like maybe I would do it, but there's a chance that Kelce gets 0 points or just like retires tomorrow,
Yeah.
So what's he playing for at this point, right?
Yeah, he counting the days until marrying a billionaire, right? Like I don't know that. Which of course, like professional athletes are not wired that way. That's not how they think. But it is, like I would not be out there.
They're wired to come back into the league at 44 and quarterback.
Oh my God, we have to talk about this. This is insane.
Oh yeah, Andrew Luck though. I mean, he's one of those guys that's like, what am I doing out here? I'm just getting destroyed for no reason. I got my bag. I'm out.
Yeah, but he's the exception that proves the rule.
I mean, he was the one who woke up and was like, we're never going to win.
And my body hurts and there's nothing I'm doing that can possibly change it.
Right.
Yeah. And Phillip Rivers woke up and got a call and was like, do you want to come play again? He's like, healthcare, I'm in.
Yeah, I've got 18 kids I got to feed.
Yep.
And like, there's a non-zero chance that like they end up still making the playoffs. Like,
there's a non-zero chance that at 44 he could have a heart attack on the field.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers is only 2 years younger than him.
Aaron Rodgers looks like he did have a heart attack on the field.
Rivers looks better than Rodgers and Flacco.
Oh yeah, Flacco certainly.
I did see an epic replay of that first pass that he threw that just wobbled like a dead duck. I was like, this is everything I wanted this stupidity to be.
The great part is that like the coaching staff is like, well, we'll let him throw it, of course, and then they're like, give it to Taylor, give it to Taylor, give it to Taylor. You're like, huh? Really? Did you want to let him throw it?
Yeah. We just need a guy that's not going to move when he gets hit.
Yeah, credit him. He's capably fulfilling that job.
It's dead in there.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Oh,
it does help.
The reporter, how much do you weigh? I don't know this moment.
The credit to him, though, like, he's like, wait, doesn't Indianapolis have one of the best offensive lines this year? I guess I could do this.
Yeah. Well, whatever. If he gets him into the playoffs, he can go out and be like, that was fun, and then retire again.
I get the feeling he thinks this is fun already, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I did see a semi heartwarming story that he, because he was coaching a high school football team for one of his kids, I think. And he flew a bunch of the kids in the team out to the game to watch him, his first game back.
Oh, that's
like
fun.
that.
That's cute.
It makes all the Kaepernick spurning that much better.
I wouldn't go as far as to say the NFL is good, actually, but
it's not his fault, right? It's he should play if someone wants him to play. It has nothing to do with him. Yeah. But I can't believe that was the only option available.
That's the one I
crazy.
Can't believe. I was just like, how is there no one else,
I'm sure Andrew Luck turned down a phone call.
I think they lost Andrew Luck's number, like,
yeah.
They were like, they called him and he's like, new
the
phone,
number
who
you
dis?
dialed is no longer in.
Yeah, he blocked them, like that's.
And he does carry around a burner, right? So, or what we would consider a burner. All right. Well, if anyone knows how to get Andrew Luck back on a football uniform.
Isn't he going to be the coach for Stanford or something? Like, y'all should know this.
He's the
athletic director.
He's the general manager. Not AD, general manager.
I mean, whatever. He's there to entice people and spend ridiculous amounts of money that somehow can't possibly make it into other sports.
The football story.
Yep.
Well, if you want to make Andrew Luck play, Michael, where can they send that information?
They could send that to podcast@weweregamers.com.
And they can also follow us on social media. We're at We Were Gamers out there. And
or YouTube. Check us out.
Yeah.
You were saying you just what?
Oh, I was going to say I just got one of the winter achievements that are out in Magic Arena this week for doing silly stuff.
I didn't see those. I logged in earlier today and maybe they weren't patched in yet.
You got to go on that achievement tab. There's a limited time section for the winter ones.
What was it?
There's play elves. There's give gifts using the gift mechanic on the cards,
Oh.
Mm-hmm. There's play cards that are both red and green. There's win a certain number of games with a snow commander.
Okay.
I forget. They're all ridiculous like that, Someone online posted a deck that technically can fulfill all the conditions, and people are like, "This deck will never win." It's like, yeah, well, get the win some other way. Do this to get the other ones.
Mm-hmm.
So I played around with that, and that was fun.
Nice. I'll take a look at that later. Maybe my new red deck can fulfill some of those, and we can talk about it next week, because I have things to say about mono red.
Sounds good.